best guitar I own. But it's a long way from being broken and I really like it. Check it out. It's really fucking cool. It's kind of dark, so you can't really see, but it has a lot of cool details. But yeah, it's a D hole, but it's not boomy, which is usually where these guitars go wrong. But it's pretty fucking cool, I must say. It's really fucking cool. I know, like, in a second, I have an immediate connection to it. But it's like... It has a nice click. That's the one thing that all my guitars never... But the Gypsy guitars, if they don't have a nice click... Thank you, Felicia. What'd you say? Russell, I have to learn the Django tune Nuage for a gig. I have never really played a Django tune before. Any tips? You're fucked, dude. All right. I don't know. The powers that be don't want you to learn Django tunes. No, it's E flat 7, D7, G major. So it's kind of like a 2-5-1, like a flat 6 or 5-5-5-1. It's kind of hard to play on, honestly, if you don't know what you're doing. It's like Lydian dominant on the first one, and then the second one Mixolydian, and then it goes off to like a major thing. I got 24 frets on the high string just for that lick. It's sick. This is a Henning Doderer. Same guy that made my F hole. Waited 2 years for this. Germany. But Russell, if you actually have specific questions about Nuage, I'm happy to answer those. So it's Brazilian rosewood, spur stop, ebony fingerboard. Tremolo sounds so nice. It's so loud. Like an orchestra. I can't get over the click on it, the 2 and 4. It's like a drum. Let's see. From someone who watches often, it really does sound twice as big as the F. We're far removed from being with you, but it's nice. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's I literally got it like 3 hours ago, and I'm still getting used to it. It's also strung with 11s, which I stopped playing. I started playing 10s on these, but I actually don't mind the tension on this one. No, it went right through customs. They put it in an old case, and that guitar reminds me of one of my girlfriend. Did she have a nasty big hole? Loud and obnoxious? Yeah, bro. Well, I hope you gauged that for all it was worth. Was it like throwing a hot dog down a hallway? I'm gonna have to use the all of me. We put all of you in there. I'm gonna have to get used to this run going all the way to the high E. It's like literally just for that. I used to like only play it to the B. It's so nice to have a 24th fret just on these two. I guess I have a, yeah. I love that extension, I always did. The only guitar I had that up till now was my cheap first guitar, like Shigano. I think, are you guys hip to the fact that we're gonna start a Holdsworth series that's gonna blow all of your minds? Like, it's the craziest shit I've heard. I haven't been as into something and practicing as I have been to this Holdsworth scale stuff. I think we're doing the first episode Friday. We're already kind of a month into making the content, but we want to have it streamlined by the time we put some of it out. But it's the craziest fucking shit there is in music. The craziest. Yeah, with Brad Stein. It's yeah, we're doing a lesson with him every Tuesday where he's blowing our minds with his nerd sage wisdom, and then me and Nick are just practicing the shit out of it on camera and figuring it out real fucking slow, because that shit is so hard. I will not use his amps. No, his amps sound like dog shit. But you know, it's like museum pieces. But you know, he didn't really run his tone through his amps. He ran those magic stomps, and he just connected to the return of the effects loop in the amps, and then had a power amp for the bottom two cabinets. So his clean tones were 3 magic stomps, stereo through 2 cabs, and his lead tone was 3 magic stomps, stereo through 2 combo amps, but just going into the return of the effects loop. So he's just using the power amp and speaker. So he was always bypassing all the amp circuitry of the Hughes and Kettners. I have to say, I did start playing stereo lately. I did it in a few gigs, and I'm never going back. All the years I played mono, I will never forgive myself. Stereo is just superior. Because, you know, my logic was like, always, yeah, people in the club, you know, half of them are getting your left, half of them are getting your right. Who knows what the sound guy's doing? And like, but then I was just like, but me, I hear it. Yeah, it's so easy. Like I just bring a power amp in another cab. Doesn't even have to be that big. And I just connect it. I have like my pedal board set up to connect the second amp as a slave amp. So it's just connecting one cable. It's easy. Anyway, but we have the Holdsworth thing coming up on YouTube. We just made a Charlie Christian series, which is a short one. Just him playing it. Like, I'm showing his blues licks. We did Jimmy Rosenberg, Crazy Runs, and tomorrow we're going to start doing some Charlie Parker and the Holdsworth thing. I still don't understand why our channel is so small. I think we're doing fucking great content, y'all. Jesus, man, this guitar is fucking awesome. Okay. Went to see. Oh, beautiful plant. Thank you. Hey, Shahal, how you doing? Went to see Eric Johnson. Nice. How was Eric Johnson? Oh, you said it was great. Awesome show. Yeah. His music makes you feel like you're riding a unicorn. It's pretty cool. I bet his backup guy is pretty phenomenal too. I guess Django would be nodding along. Thank you. Wish I had that kind of effortless command of the fretboard. You know, Dave Scher, I think. Yeah, he's a good player too. Yeah. Thanks, Steven. Yeah, this guitar is pretty solid. I gotta admit. Okay, let's play it. Swing too. I'd love one. Thank you. Alright, gotta go do dishes. Fuck that. See ya. Caught your West lesson. Oh, thanks, Michael. Thanks, Hugh. This is my new Doderer. No DuPont. thanks, Michael. Wow. Can you play the theme to Astro Chicken? I don't know what that is. You make that guitar sound great. Thank you. Yeah, I really dig it. Really, really, really dig it. I didn't realize Hunting Daughter is still making guitars. Oh, yeah. He's around. You can contact him and a super chat. We haven't seen one of those in a while. Wow. You mean to tell me you get to make money on the internet? Crazy. Yeah, it sucks. Thank you. We wrote that one. That's a Marvin song. This one is too. Well, I guess without Danny, it's just a bunch of chords. I love it. Thanks, Dean Daniel. Forgot to say Shana Tova. Shana Tova, Gever. Shana Tova, everybody. Thanks, Hugh.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
It got a little busy in there.
No worries. It's
Very
just
pretty
tea.
playing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we just played with him. We opened up for Oz last week. Last Friday, I think, in Chicago. Or Friday before last. It was good times. Our show was good. You guys want to see what happens when you lead chords through one of the Holdsworth scales? You just get his music. It's so fucked up. Check this out. Let's go from here. It's so hard to see. I'll take this structure. Check this out. No shit, I'm fucking up already. It's so hard to see this shit. There we go. These chords. Could you imagine all these are one scale? Does it sound like random garbage? Kind of, but it is what he's doing. All that is one scale, and it's not random. Brett Stein just blew my fucking mind. I gotta hand it to Brett. He figured it out. Piecing it together slowly, though. We were playing like a Marvin gig, and I was trying to look down at the fretboard and see this Holdsworth stuff, and it's just like pitch black. Could not see anything. I was just like, I'm just gonna be me. I guess I've developed a personality. Show of hands if anybody figured out what I was doing there. No hands. Some wild patterns in that scale. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Dude, the sound really is phenomenal. Just an iPhone, you could record a whole album in that spot. Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy, I must say. It's a really. I was afraid the last D hole I had was super boomy. This one is not boomy at all. You're listening through big speakers? Yeah, I'm projecting through a small iPhone that's pretty dirty too. Let's see. Do you consciously control your breathing or do you do it with the music? In other words, do you breathe faster or fast passages? I have an issue holding my breath when I play intricate stuff. No, not like I'm going. I don't consciously control my breathing, but I think there are other things like it's you don't want to hold your breath, right? I don't hold my breath. Sometimes I'll lock up in my jaw and then my feet, you know. So I think the first step in breaking habits is noticing them, and just whenever you notice you're holding your breath, take a breath. You don't want to be breathing. You don't want your CPU to go to conscious breathing instead of playing. You want to be really, or ideally, you're trying to be very conscious of what you're actually doing. So I guess. Thanks, Shaha. Wow, this is like a big money day here. Everybody's dumping out the cash. I love it. You know the way to a Jewish man's heart. Uh, yeah, I would say notice it and try to change it, but don't, you know, if you're noticing that you're holding your breath during intricate passages, what I suggest you do is close your eyes and try to play them. I don't think you'll find yourself holding your breath while closing your eyes. It's like a really horrible feeling. You know what I mean? So it tends to be that there's something visual going on that's triggering a stress response. Uh, Start farting when you go above 140. Notice that, you know. ROTFL. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, if you close your eyes, you're eliminating so much of the things that might stress you out and cause you to lock up and control your breath like that. So it's like, for me, I just noticed, like, the other thing about closing your eyes when you're playing guitar is that it makes you sort of incapable of you doing gigantic shifts that you have to rely on visual cues to get to, which also most of the time you shouldn't be doing, you know. So it makes you, if you can have a representation of the fretboard, try that while driving for sure, a representation of the fretboard in your brain that you can actually improvise in, you'll just reach for the things that are in the neighborhood, and things tend to go together a little bit better. I shall demonstrate. That's so, like, if I'm playing like summertime, you know, if I'm playing with my eyes open, I'm really tempted to, right, to do all these like big arpeggios, and I just noticed that it's not like one way is the true way of playing, and it's not like one way is the true way of playing and the other one's a false way of playing. It's more like there are different ways of playing, but when you close your eyes, you tend to just look for different, like you're following a different template of the fretboard, the one that's really deeply in your mind. So if it's like, if Anyway, you get lost in it, but that's the idea. Uh, Zero frets are very important. Sucker is bright. Yeah, I like it bright. So, I think ideally, that's sort of how you. It's not really practice; it's practice playing. You know, so it's like you're just playing, but you're practicing being in communication with the next thing that you're thinking of. You know, and it just playing like that really eliminates a lot of the half-baked thing that you think you have down, but you've just kind of practiced some amount of control with, but you can't connect it in your brain yet, you know. There's a lot of stuff like that. Let's see. I have a problem with getting notes to have the volume to stand out after playing electric for years, where the same pressure is applied most notes. I have a problem with getting notes to have the volume to stand out after. With acoustic, yeah, you got to change your picking completely. You got to just jump ship on if you want to get the gypsy stuff together to some level, or bluegrass or whatever, you know, it's like they pick different than electric players too. You know, you just got to ask yourself, what's the physical, you know, you look at like a guy like Tony Rice, if you're trying to play bluegrass, or a guy like Django if you're trying to play gypsy jazz, and ask yourself, how are they making sound? How are they using the right hand? What musculature does it come from? What's the motion mechanics involved? Start asking yourself those kind of questions, and be willing to change things to get that sound. Because it's like, you know, if you don't, then you'll get the sound you're getting. That's just if you don't change anything, then, you know, electric guitar doesn't really apply to acoustic. I would say that in terms of right hand technique, from like where you hit the string to the angle that the pick meets the string, to the angle that the rotation that the pick meets the string, to the muscles it comes from. You have to work with bigger motions because you're making more sound. You're pushing more air, and you're actually driving the string. And you have to work on playing pretty even, you know, as even as you can. It's a little bit of a different ballpark. And you know, a lot of people ask me this question often, which is like, if you get your gypsy jazz picking together, will your electric playing suffer? or change, and truth is, sometimes you'll work on some, you will work on some motions that will make you hesitate on, and you will have to rethink a lot of the things you do that aren't that good probably, and then in the heat of the moment those things will become less available for you for a while because you'll be hesitant about them. You've given them thought. You're unbundling the package. You're making yourself insecure about certain things that you think you have down. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely steps back to take. But in the grand scheme of things, to be in a state of flux, in a state of change, is, if you find yourself out of that state on any part of your playing, you are in a rut. You just don't know it yet. I've been practicing some sweeping using Jazz 3 picks, which is super stiff. I switched up to thinner picks and made progress much faster. Yeah, I mean, my issue with Jazz 3s isn't the thickness of the pick. My picks are much thicker. It's the shape of the tip. When you have a tip and not a beveled edge or some sort of rounded edge, then the tip acts like a compressor. And it doesn't matter the angle you think about it. You have a point, and anywhere you meet the string, it makes the same sound. That's why people like them, because it makes it sound more even. It's like playing with a compressor pedal. Problem is that, with other picks, you get like a warm tone when you play soft, and it brightens up the harder you play. So picks with a tip, I got it. Picks with a tip are problematic for me. Unless I'm playing shreddy, if you're playing Guthrie Govan or any of those shrapnel guys, there's definitely a place for that. But you're not trying to go for dynamic range. You're playing with tons of gain, humbuckers. All you want an even just stiff attack. You do any hybrid picking? When I'm playing electric, I do some hybrid. So to me, hybrid picking, you have to have your wrist a little bit down to make it work. So, but yeah, I mean, Marvin songs those kind of songs. So. I mean, I do it for tone. I typically don't really hybrid pick. I just pinch. To get a real pop. Kind of more Stevie Ray Vaughan. I guess I picked it up more from that. That's the idea. But yeah, I don't do the Instagram pajama hybrid picking, just all legato, that kind of thing. I don't know. That style of playing always seemed so sterile to me. Never liked it. I like when people chicken pick. I never really got into that. I'm a fan of legato, just not with the hybrid picking. Let's see. Oh, somebody sent another super chat. Oh, it's a hard super chat. Let's see. Thank you. How many years did it take you to get proficient at gypsy jazz? I don't know. I don't know if I'm proficient. This is my hobby, man. Um, I just do it because I like this. I just, it's like the only jazz guitar style outside of fusion that like I felt was charming and you could just play on acoustic and have a good time and it doesn't require a big production or a trio or something. Um, I guess Joe Pass solo guitar stuff, but I don't know. It's like that stuff just never grabbed me the same way, and everything's too complicated and showy. This is like at least kind of folky. I don't know, down to earth in a way. Um, yeah, not. I didn't answer anything. I started around 2000. When did I get my first guitar? 2012, 13. So maybe 10 years, a little bit more. A little, yeah, around 10 years. I think I've been playing gypsy jazz. Before that, it was all fusion. Altamira. Those are nice. Yeah. Once heard Jim Hall say he knew approximately 2,000 songs, including standards. How many songs do you know approximately? Yeah. With Jim Hall, I want to hear one good solo of those 2,000 songs. I don't know what he's doing half the time. Just kidding, just talking shit. I don't know, man. How many songs do I know? I usually every time I think I'm running out of things to play, I remember another and another and another and another. I've never really run out of songs I know in a sitting. So I always know, I don't know how many I know, but I definitely know more than I can play. You know what I mean? Like I can always go to the next one. It hasn't happened to me in years that I'm like, I don't, it's like I need to cycle back. Because, you know, it's like I know, I mean, I know all the Marvin songs. We have like 12 albums. So that's a lot of songs. And then we have more than that actually. And then we have songs that we, like I write music, so I got all those. And then, you know, like a bunch of stand. I don't know what I know. I don't know a ton of gypsy jazz songs. That's true. Thank you, Jan. This guitar is bad fucking ass. Jan is studying with me. We're going over melodic minors now. There are two shapes that are unique, or not unique, but that don't exist inside major scales. Next lesson, that's what we're doing, Jan. We're gonna figure out how to play minor major 7 and major 7 sharp 5 arpeggios. Those are the, but you know, you are one of the most fluent guitar players I've seen in a long while. Thank you. I love when someone plays stuff. It's over my head. Yep. Appreciate it. If you know how to play a dominant arpeggio, just a dominant arpeggio, you can get all the notes of melodic minor. I feel like Rick Beato. Then play like shit for a second. If you just take a dominant arpeggio, C7, and then a dominant arpeggio a step up, right? That has all the notes of G melodic minor. 2 dominant arpeggios, that's it. Now all you need to do is figure out a way to apply it. So, let's say you want to play, you're in C minor, and you want to make a sound that's the sound of a G altered or a D flat Lydian dominant. All you got to do is play a D flat 7 arpeggio to an E flat 7 arpeggio. That gives you all the notes of A flat melodic minor. Right? This is a dominant arpeggio, but you got to know where to start. And then that resolves to your A minor, so I can just go, or D minor, that resolves to your C minor. So you play like D flat 7, E flat 7 on G, and then you go to your C minor. So if I'm in a minor 2, 5, 1, right? Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. That kind of thing. So again. I'm just playing those 2 arpeggios. So it's a different way. How did your 80s metal gypsy jazz gig go? It was sick, dude. We did it on a cruise ship and on Monsters of Rock. We played, had Nuno in the audience. It's great. In this regard, D minor totally. Yeah, think about it. Like if you're just taking the 4 and 5 chord of melodic minor, right? If you're in G melodic minor or D melodic minor, you're in D melodic minor, right? So first of all, think about application. So D melodic minor is C sharp altered or G Lydian dominant. Both those chords help you move to F sharp minor. So if you're in a progression that moves to F sharp minor, you have a G7 Lydian dominant sound going to here, or a C sharp altered sound going to here. Now you have to think, okay, what are the 4 and 5 chords in D melodic minor, G7 and A7? And if you just know how to play those 2 arpeggios into each other, you're playing all the notes of D melodic minor. So you have this sound, you're playing like, that C sharp 7 Hendrix chord, you're applying a G7 to, and then an A7 to. G7, right? Just think about inversions of that G7, right? Just like your basic, just drop 2 inversions, so you need to know those, right? So G7 is this. I never think about this shit. And A7 is this. And if you put them together, you have G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A. And if you play them as lines, all those notes make up D melodic minor. Just those 2 arpeggios thrown on top of each other, right? So. And I'm applying that to that C sharp root. Whatever. So that's sort of like how substitution thinking works, right? You take arpeggio material, you hold the bass note that you're applying it to in your mind, and then you just kind of like have these tools inside it to bounce off of. So that's taking familiar forms, meaning like dominant forms that exist in the major scale, right? So you've already practiced those shapes a lot. G7, hopefully you've practiced them, right? You have some sort of control with like arpeggios. You know, you don't really even have to like, you can add passing tones. And that, like, if you have a pair of them, it helps decorate it. But you can also take the forms that are unique to melodic minor and study them. And that's really the shit, right? So those tend to be the more interesting sounds. There are only 2 that come out of melodic minor that aren't in major. One is minor major 7, and the other one is major 7 sharp 5. Minor major 7 off the 1, major 7 sharp 5 off the flat 3. So if you take a look at a key like D minor, so you have a D minor major 7, and you have an F major 7 sharp 5. So that F major 7 sharp 5, like on an altered sound, is the tits. It's very cool. So if you again, let's bring it to a different key that we're more familiar with, like G7 going to C minor. So on that G7, okay, G7 altered is A flat melodic minor. What's the flat 3 of A flat melodic minor? It's B, right? Here's that B major 7 sharp 5, right? B. So think about it slowly. 1, 3, sharp 5, 7. That sound with a G root, right? Let's take it an octave up. Another thing you can think about major 7 sharp 5s too, if it's hard for you to see augmented triads, is that it's just the arpeggio, the triad arpeggio from the 5th of melodic minor with the flat 3rd in it. So what do I mean by that? It's an E flat major triad with a B in the bottom. So maybe it's easier to see it that way. So you have E flat, and you just throw a B somewhere in there, right? And now I'm applying that sound to a G root. And that resolves to C minor. So all I gotta do is now find these notes in arpeggio form, ways of inverting them. Awesome. So maybe like So here's that sound: D minor 7 flat 5, that B or E flat with B in the bass, or B major 7 sharp 5, resolving to C minor. It's a nice sound. Or has a cool thing to it. Joshua, hey dude. Steven, what's the guitar? It's my brand new Doderer. Did you ever consider teaching jazz academically? No. It is punchy. We'll come back one day. Funny you mentioned that, dude. Well, I'm doing the stuff with Brett, so I've been struggling. It's very gypsy jazzy. I've been struggling and working every fucking day now with these brand new 9-note scales that Alan used. Because up until very recently, I was working with 7 scales: major, harmonic minor, melodic minor, harmonic major, augmented, whole tone, and diminished. And that was my universe, and that's everything I've ever worked with. But now with Brett Stein and the contact we're about to release with the Holdsworth thing, I've been practicing my ass off trying to get, honestly, like just in one key, some of these scales. So I've been doing some jazz add flat 3, flat 6, major at flat 3, flat 6, Mixolydian add 7, add flat 3, and jazz minor add flat 7, add flat 5, and Messiaen mode 3. And it's been just destroying my fucking brain. It's so fucking hard. So let's see. Will you bring back Gypsy Jazz interview shows you used to do? Those were really insightful. I don't think I'm bringing those back. It's like some people. It's just like some people just are bad at talking, and it's like just digging, like doing this Rogan thing. Like, hey man, so what do you think about monkeys? It's like it's just not for me. Man, that's annoying. Is the Holdsworth thing a joke? No, the Holdsworth thing is for real. No, it's we're about to start releasing the way Holdsworth thought about theory thing, but me and old Nick have been practicing it every day for a few hours, and we're not getting better. It's too. The subject is so big. It's like I'll give you a taste. So here's what you do. Take a major scale, C major, and add 2 notes to it. E flat and A flat, right? It's like a bebop scale, like a Barry Harris scale when you add the flat 3. And then ask yourself, what do you get, right? You get this. 9-note scale. Now, ask yourself what's in it that wasn't in it before. So you have a C major scale, you have a C melodic minor scale, right? You have a C harmonic minor scale, you have a C augmented scale, you have a C harmonic major scale, you have an A harmonic minor scale. a Hungarian minor scale because you've added these notes, and you have all the harmonies that come out of all of them in one pile. And now you write chords that are out of these scales. That was a mistake. All these kind of sounds. And then you use, what you really do is you look for the shapes inside this scale that aren't just stepwise. You look for the bigger intervals in there. So like, let's say now you're moving a scale second into a scale third. So not a second into a third, a scale second to a scale third. So let's call this motion a scale second, and this motion from the same note, that's a scale third, because these two are in the scale. So I'll just move a second to a third inside that sound, and you get this. Like, I'll put a D root, right? So this is like your Dorian version of that scale, and you get this. Here's a scale second to a scale third. Right? You hear those? Now you start looking for the shapes that Holdsworth used a lot and see how many places they appear in the scale, like a minor third half step. You have that one. You have that one. You have that one. You have that one. And you have that one. So you got all these shapes now. Right? This half step minor third shape. My analysis of it was wrong because I saw the right shapes, but I was just looking in diminished because I thought, well, diminished has those, has this one, has that one, but it only has them in a few places, and he's playing them all over the place. So the question is, what is he seeing? And he's seeing those 9-note scales. So the Messiaen modes are another way of getting a lot of these structures. Like on a D sound, you got this. Right? Yeah, it gets really complicated and really deep. But something you can do is like take those shapes I just showed you and take a structure and just move the structure, see what happens. So I mean, like, take a chord like a C major 7. Now I'm gonna move it in the scale I talked about before. So C goes to D, G goes to A flat, B goes to C, E goes to F. So the second chord is D minor 7 flat 5. Now if I push everything up in the scale another step, D goes to E flat, right? A flat goes to A, C goes to D, F goes to G. So here's my first three chords. Right? Then I have an E major 7, F major 7, right? From here, what do? I got a G7, then A flat major 7, then this weird A major 7 sus4, right? And the last one would be this B7 flat 5. Check out this whole scale voice leg. So that's kind of a conservative shape. I started with a major 7. Now let's do an Allen type finger. Right? I'm gonna just use G, D, let's say maybe something like that, or that's really Allenish, right? G, D, E flat, B. Where does that go? Right? Then you have all these sounds. So yeah, it gets pretty deep. It's a fucking headache. And you know, but it's solvable. It's not, you don't write it off to alien space technology thing. So yeah, there's a logic to it. There's a scale. They're just fucking hard to see, hard to see. And I'm just in one key. There are 12 keys, right? But yeah, we've been devising a lot of exercises because Brett gave me the book and I read it and I was just like, fuck, what the fuck am I gonna, like, it's a great book, you should buy it, but it's like, okay, so that's your 30-year project, how are you making it through it? So I was like, let's do something together, let's teach people how to move through this fucking material. So yeah, that's just one of the 9-note scales. There are 4 9-note scales. So there's major, add flat 3, flat 6. There's minor, add flat 7, flat 5. There's Mixolydian, add 7, flat 3. And then there's the Messiaen mode 3, which is 1, 2, flat 3, sharp for 5, flat 6, flat 7, 7. So it's this. If I'm in C, and that's kind of like Holdsworth's altered sound. Like if I'm playing a C7, but that's like going to F minor, or if he's just banging out, if he's playing on F minor, yeah, classic Holdsworth groove, right? Yeah, but you hear him playing, right? Those kind of sounds. Over that route. So yeah, there's a method to the madness. I suck at it still, but this upcoming Holdsworth series is a chance for you to suck with me. And we're gonna do so much sucking that, you know, I mean, the truth is nobody likes the way it sounds, which is even more beautiful. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're having a stroke. We said that about Allan Holdsworth's style. When you play the lines fast, you make people feel like they're having a stroke, and when you play them slow, it sounds like you're having a stroke. So it's like the power of stroke, and the speed you play it is just the method of delivery, whether you're the one who has it or you're tossing it at somebody. But yeah, you will master the power of music stroke. Yeah, but it really makes you want to give up, honestly. It's like I've been doing it every day, and I'm not getting any better. Yeah. Yeah. I'll buy that book. Yeah, buy Brett's book, In the Mystery. It's. I mean, it's honestly, it's like you're gonna need that to like as supplementary material for going through it, because it's just so much information. It's so much fucking information. I mean, it's not, but it is, because if you don't have your major scales and basses on guitar, it's really hard. Alrighty, guys. Oh, thank you.
I noticed it.